Good evening. My name is Oriel Martin, and I am coming to you to speak directly about my incredible and candid experience learning and researching the Hindu faith. I had the pleasure of talking to several friends and family members who were involved in the faith before this class, and I also was able to go to a temple in Tempe and get a firsthand experience at what it felt like to be involved in the faith. Furthermore, the insight that I inquired or digested was an invaluable piece to the puzzle that is my life, because I'm very much curious about other religions and how the other side of the world works. The Hindu faith originates somewhere around the 1400 BCs. It's been around way longer than Christianity. It's considered one of the, if not the oldest, unfounded, but oldest religions in the world. Its focus is always on the body, and every part of the body is a moving part of your spiritual journey in life. So you have to take care of the body. Wellness and mental wellness, especially, is a critical piece in the puzzle that is the Hindu faith. With that being said, you are always trying to do things that work well within your spirit. One of the things that I found most interesting about the faith is that all the years that I was ignorantly unaware of how the faith actually practiced, I always assumed naturally that there was multiple gods and deities that they worshipped. My images of Hinduism when I would type in Google would always be multiple gods with these unique poses, mostly with multiple hands, multiple legs, and it was just intense to see. But now, having done this particular anthropology based field work, I know now that that has much to do with the different stages that you reach within the faith. Each body part, each organ, each spiritual portion of you is a part of the whole puzzle, if that makes sense. So that's why some of those gods have multiple legs, multiple arms, because they're working on or focusing on a certain part of the body and spirit at the time of worship. With that being said, I was enamored to find that out. And so I went in lieu of my own research to find out what connected with me personally, because I did want to be educated, if not included in the energy that comes from this, spiritual journey, which is Hindu. The temple in Tempe that I went to, I didn't get a chance to go in and have a firsthand experience because of COVID. With all of the different restrictions there, it limited me greatly on what I could do and see. But I was able to sit in on a virtual meditation class, and I chose Dhyana yoga meditation because it is said to be one of the most powerful forms of meditation, as well as powerful forms of yoga that one who is practicing or beginning to practice in the Hindu faith can partake in. Dhyana focuses on the eighth limb or leg, and it's a part of the body that's in the lower region of your body. So your gut and your stomach is where you focus all of your attention in Dhyana yoga. So you are meditating because you are quieting your mind, quieting your audible sound, and just giving in to your inner self and your inner core, and you are working that core and that gut area. This was very critical and very important for me because I am a class A stressor. I have had a whirlwind of emotions since COVID has begun, and this year alone has been an incredible roller coaster for me. I wanted to find any kind of outlet that allowed me to participate in a positive manner, and also allowed me to free my mind and allow myself to relax. I've always heard such positive things and such peaceful things surrounding yoga. So if I could be in any way a part of that, so be it. On the virtual side, everybody was positioned, of course, it's best 6 feet apart as possible, with their focus on their mat and the instructor. The instructor, Raina, who was extremely nice, is a 10-year yoga instructor with plenty of lifetime experience behind her. She's actually practicing to become a medical a healer in the community, a Hindu healer, and she wants to be a very important religious figure one day. So when we're doing the actual yoga, everybody is separated. Everybody is in their own core position. She's instructing you based on the body parts we're focusing on. There's very soft music in the background, but it's not very loud. And the intention is for you to become completely one with yourself, spiritually, mentally, physically. It's a very challenging yoga because most of us struggle with quieting our minds and being able to give in 100% to an experience that has very little to do with some kind of outcome and no actual result, but a residual result. So I struggled the first 5 minutes, but after a while I got pretty comfortable and it started to really feel within me like something was changing. That being said, the yoga class was about 30 minutes. They do them all the time, usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but they have transitioned out of doing it weekly and more so bi-weekly because of COVID. Beyond that, the research that I found was invaluable. I, did realize that there wasn't a particular religious figure that was a part of that particular ritual, but there are several ones in the Hindu faith that have been very popular and very well respected for their craft. One of them being Ramakrishna, who was a Bengal Indian man who focused on Hindu religious thought and is the founder of Hindu religious thought. Something that was actually shocking and sadly so is that even though Hinduism is supposedly very progressive and forward thinking as far as the freedoms that come with practice, there's still a great deal of sexism and isms of sorts. Raina was explaining to me off the class site that she was trying to be invited in to become, a Hindu priest and priestess, and it had not been going well. It had been met with lots of adversity for trying to get in as a woman, and there's only so many spots for some of these apprenticeships, and they were not really being very understanding. So no matter how free thinking, forward thinking, positive the experience is, the reality always sets in about where we are as a culture in the world versus in our religious practice. Anyway, I have to say that I thoroughly enjoyed my experience, and I don't know that I transformed per se. I think that word is a bit intense. So I'll dial it down a bit and say that I learned new layers of myself. I uncovered new layers of myself that I often don't give into. One of them being learning how to de-stress without things. I typically need things to keep me quiet, a movie on in the background because I have to have noise, especially at night when I'm trying to go to bed, music because it always keeps me sane and makes me move and makes me feel good. All these different things to help me relax. And it dawned on me, if I don't know how to relax on my own, there's a bigger problem. Bigger than big, it's huge. And I think Dhyana yoga meditation is something that I will continue to practice even as a Christian, because if it will promote wellness, it will promote mental health, stability, and maintenance of the body, something that I struggle with tremendously, it's absolutely something that I need to be involved in. Aside from that, I also want to delve further into the religion and see more of the rituals. I've heard about several different altered states of consciousness rituals that would benefit me greatly, and I'm very curious to see how those would play out in the real world and real time in my life. As a Christian, I find myself struggling to give in to other religious thought and faiths because it's the way I've been raised my whole life. Being as open-minded as possible isn't enough. You have to really let yourself go and fall into what it is you're doing, especially on the anthropological side. So I'm glad that I got a firsthand experience at Hinduism, and I definitely feel like it won't be my last.